This tutorial is not so much on how to paint a mural, because I encourage everyone to come up with their own style based on their personality. This video will show you suggestions on how to keep your work area and your materials clean. To get started on a mural, you're going to need more than just an idea and your paints and your brushes. You're also going to need some materials to keep your area clean. I highly recommend having a very large bucket of water, have some paper towels or a old t-shirt, some old t-shirt cloth to wipe your brushes onto. You definitely need to have a drop cloth or some sort of tarp or canvas cloth to protect the floor and the surrounding areas. And painter's tape actually really comes in handy as well. So the first thing I want to do is take this tarp, this protective plastic, and put it on the floor. I'm going to take the edges and I'm going to anchor it to the wall, to the baseboards, by using the painter's tape. If you are in the middle of painting and need to leave your workstation, check the bottom of your feet before stepping off of the tarp. You don't want to track a mess into your client's floor if you accidentally step in paint. So you've been painting for a while and it's about that time. It's time to either change colors or clean up for the rest of the day. So what do? Well, you do not want to go to the sink, because if you rinse directly in the sink, it can cause staining and accidental clogging. When it comes to rinsing your brush, this is when your paper towels and your bucket of water comes into play. First of all, if your brush is very loaded with paint, you can always wipe it on the edge, but you notice there's still paint on the bristles. So that's where you take your paper towel, wipe as much of that paint off onto the paper towel or your t-shirt cloth as you can. And if you even want to squeeze the bristles just a little bit, not being too aggressive. And you notice that is quite a bit of difference. However, there is still paint inside that brush, and if it's left like this, it will dry and the bristles would get extremely hard, and you won't be able to use it as well later. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a good old rinsey-do in the bucket of water. The bristles are pretty much clean if you can squeeze the bristles and the water runs clear. Towards the end of your painting time, you'll notice that the water in the bucket is not going to be as clean as it once was before. And when you squeeze the bristles, the water is not going to run clear. The goal is you want water to run clear from the bristles, so that way you know the brush is clean. So let's say this brush just got out of the dirty paint water, which it did. Give it a few taps on that paper towel or that t-shirt cloth, and then now it should be safe enough to rinse it in the sink. And as you notice, I'm working at a white sink, so there is the bare minimum of paint particles going down the sink. Couple more taps and it's good to go. When storing your paintbrushes, you want to store them in a cup or in a paintbrush holder, bristles side up and not bristles side down, especially in water or in solvent. Brushes are our friends. We don't drown our friends. So you're at that moment, you've done a few hours of painting, or you're at the end of the day, and you can just leave, right? Wrong. You need to clean up. And not entirely, because it does take a long time to actually set up, but you do want to make sure that your materials are in a nice, neat little pile and out of the way of traffic. So I'm going to demonstrate how to dispose of paint water with a small scale instead of using the full-size bucket. Let's just say this is your bucket of rinse water. If you do not have a filter, it's best if you left it to go for like a day or two. Just leave it out. And what will happen is the paint solids will settle to the bottom. And as you can see there, that's kind of sludgy right there. If you could actually pour out as much of that cleaner water as possible. Okay, the water should be safe to either dump outside or down the sink. It would actually be cleaner than that. This is a small scale. As far as what to do with this sludge at the bottom, you can either wipe it away with a paper towel, put some kitty litter in there to let it clump up, or if you just want to let it go for several more days, you can let the water evaporate entirely and it'll become just a block of paint that you can peel out and throw away. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this tutorial was helpful for your current and future endeavors. Please check out the rest of my channel to see other examples of my artwork, and be sure to subscribe if you like what you see. Special shout out to Smoke from All the Friction. Thank you so much for letting me use your music for some sick background beats. Be sure to check out that song Schiz. You'll find the link below. That's all for now. Love one another. Love yourself. Take care. Bye. These voices go out down the stone.